And, well, my phone, my battery got cut off. That's what happened there. So you could feel these people trying to break bones through some sort of remote Reiki, strange things like that. And it was difficult at first. I'll show a little picture of Cryon. The picture that I kept getting of Cryon looks like this. Like that's the picture that a lot of people kind of get of blue lanterns, and he's got he's got the strong indigo color going on. That's what he always seems to look like to me, and I tried to draw like the eyes that they have sort of, but I just couldn't do it straight, so I gave up. So after that, he said, well, Krista, I'm not going to be able to protect you in the same way along the magnetic grid lines, but I will be able to help you in other ways. You're going to notice that I'm way more powerful now. And no, I'm not dead. And obviously, no, he's not dead because Lee can still channel him. Even though they didn't seem to want to help me at all, and I was totally imprisoned because of the Cryon material, and I survived because of the Cryon material. That was the way I survived. So I'm willing to bet that this story is true. And plus, none of those books, none of the Cryon books, would even be published if they weren't reptilian or Grey controlled. And Bashar, who's so popular as Yael, so Grey controlled. Yeah. So it makes total sense. And that would be why they wouldn't want me getting that information out. So, who am I? I am going to attempt to see if I can put a power strip somewhere where I can put this here. No, that won't really work. Oh, wait. Yeah, well. And so, also, to explain, why am I wearing, because I know people analyze this stuff a lot, why am I wearing this? This is Moldavite here. This was sent to me. It was cursed, and someone tried to curse it again, which I had to kind of fix. But this is a pendant that my grandmother gave to my mother because my mother was a Scorpio. And when I was imprisoned, I drew a very interesting picture of what you would call, I guess, the Arcturian, and she very much seemed to be wearing something like this, and she was actually wearing it on her head, kind of as something combined with Moldavite. And I had no idea, and came home, saw this, and realized, oh my gosh, I've actually I actually have something just like this. Wow. And so now, what am I? I am, as my Facebook says, Arcturian Warrior Princess. But now, the pregnant queen of this area. I say queen because most of well, I'm not going to say most, I'm going to say all of the other people in this area are pretty much, like, they've completely just, succumbed to all of this evil, lost it, scared out of their minds, can't say anything about it, or just confused completely. And so, because of that, they said, look, Krista, we kind of have to make you in charge. They can attempt to make it hard for you to leave your house or whatever, but that doesn't matter. You can control world events from right inside your house. Have you noticed? and and I said, well, yeah, that seems to be true. But you see, what they don't want is the actual networking or going out. So that's where I have to keep on walking outside and defying them. And who am I right now? I just said my eyes were pulled to this. So with Cryon in his first book was so controlled and hooked up to electrodes and everything that he was telling people to get implants. By book 12, I was walking around with Cryon's book 12. Again, a special number, numerology, especially for Cryon. He loves 12. I would walk around with book 12 like it was the Bible. Seriously, I would if I knew that something was going to happen or that I was going to be attacked, I would take that book and hold it at my chest or hold it at an area of my body that I knew that people were trying to attack. And it literally was better than holding a Bible, almost. I wasn't, it seemed like whatever the energy off it was very much like a Bible. and so I wasn't sure quite what to make of that, except that it worked. And Cryon would repeatedly say, go read the Bible, go read about Jesus. And so I'd say, okay, I'll do that. Now, what I am, well, I'm something like Bob Marley's Iron Like a Lion in Zion. I had to run like a fugitive to save the life I'd live, but I'm gonna be iron like a lion in Zion. I'm on the run, but I ain't got no gun. You don't need a gun for this. Ultimately, we don't need anything like that. And ultimately, what I'm getting told here, what I am, or what I'm, who is Krista? Krista was a human born on this planet, born innocent, and then made into something horrible. But he says the reason we, the angels, are choosing you is because we want to make the transformation so apparently obvious. We want people to be able to say, oh my gosh, I remember that girl and I hated her. And now I love her more than anybody. He says it's still something like that. Even though I'll still get ridiculously mad at people for attempting to kill me. I mean, it's kind of like, excuse me, if you attempt to kill me, I'm kind of going to get mad, right? But apparently that's who I am. And, well, who I am here on this planet as this form. Who I am also is an Arcturian who goes by a code name Andromeda. And she told me I go by the code for several reasons, but one of the reasons is obvious because of how the reptilians use names as openings to harm you. So the fact that my name is simply a code means really nothing. And so I said, oh, well, that That sounds great. And also, I was really confused by an Arcturian name sounding like English, and they told me, yeah, well, it's a translation sort of for you in English, but still, it's Andromeda, like the constellation that we're talking about, but it's a code. It's not your name or not a name, because we're way smarter than that. So what they said, we're way smarter than that than to have our major ground people or their corresponding Arcturians to have their names out like that, to be open to harm. So is there anything else that I Well, I know I am one of the best ibogaine providers this side of the world. That sounds arrogant, but seriously, guys, it's true. After what I've seen, yeah, it's true. And nah, don't care. Do not care what you say. Do not care what you say. After what you all have done, which is sick, disgusting, and part of a New World Order scheme, I am the only person in all of ibogaine who has fought back. So, sorry. And not sorry. I'm strong. I'm independent. I'm slowly trying to change my aura a little bit, like they told me to. Because they said, Krista, you have this BAM kind of mentality. You needed that. You needed that to kick down the door. You needed that to shove it in their face. You needed that to do all of this and do what you need to do. You need that to take out every single business. You need that to do all of this stuff, and you need the rage to do all of it, because that's what's required to accomplish these things. And we're a command. We do this stuff, and you're one of our people that is seriously involved with this stuff. You're one of our people, and now that you've said, okay, you're gonna be with us, we're gonna protect you at all costs, because you're very valuable. And well, every human is incredibly valuable. So we could also say I'm a hacker of reality. Hacking a machine, I'm sure that's fun or whatever, but hacking the actual reality, I think, is a little bit more interesting, guys. So, I'll leave us to ponder that. But then ultimately, when the destruction comes, how is it that we reverse that energy? Because they keep on saying, this stuff is going to be destroyed. It's going to be outright destroyed. It cannot exist in the space. The Earth itself is revolting. It cannot. The corruption cannot exist. No matter what they think, they're going to literally be destroyed. And I think, well, what do I do with the aftermath of that? What do I do about any of it? How do I manage with this? And, well, Cryon says again, outlast, like Survivor, outlast. And it's just and he says to everybody, it's just gonna be this way for a while. It's only gonna be this way for a little while. And by a little while, meaning like 2 years type thing, like the 2016 thing. It's kind of like we're holding down everything until 2016, because they had all of their plots to go off right in this time period from 2014 to 2016. On YouTube it says the demise of America is 2014 to 2016. And right now we star seeds and those especially with the Ashtar command know that no, we are holding the fort down until you idiots can figure out what you're doing. And so it seems like that's what we're gonna do. And Kron says, in the meantime, the problems will start to take care of themselves, and they're going to start to see how much power I have, and then think twice about hexing me every time I go outside. They're going to start to see that I have a lot more power than they actually think, which that would be interesting because I have little idea about that. Even though in the reptilian prison they would actually talk about how many whatever latent abilities that I had, and how grateful they were that I didn't know how to use whatever they were. And so I suppose I'll simply wait on that. Oh, I'm getting told this has to do with realigning your crystalline grid structure, diamond, they keep saying diamond, and that I'll apparently start to figure this stuff out soon. In the meantime, I'll post this on YouTube as another random video blog. I'll see you next time on Arcturian Philosophy.